As you can probably tell just looking behind us, we are ready for our interview this afternoon. Special guest at the desk with Adara.
Good afternoon, guys. We're really excited to have on today with us a special guest. It is the CEO and chairman of AIML Innovations, Paul Duffy. How are you doing today, Paul?
I'm great, Adara. Thank you for inviting me. I love your studio. It's super impressive.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for being on here with us this afternoon. I'm really excited to talk here with you guys. So AIML is trading around 5 cents right now. What is the market missing about your company and your stock?
Okay, great question. First off, I'll say today what the market's missing is the value of our IP. In about 6 months, I think what they'll see, it'll be fun when they see what we do with that IP as we begin to commercialize. But let me give you a little bit of background on this intellectual property. So for your audience, basically, what we developed was an AI for ECGs, electrocardiograms. Really what this means is we're able to go in and detect a signal from a lead, could be a 1 lead, 3 lead, 12 lead ECG device, interpret that signal to a degree of specificity that has absolutely never been done before. We took that technology, we put a great big patent moat around it, and we began to commercialize it literally about 4 to 6 months ago. So these recent announcements that you've been hearing about AIML and everywhere from Sick Kids Hospital to the Jamaica regulatory pathway that we're in. We just announced this morning a group with Equimetrics, which is actually, if you could believe it, in the vet industry for horses. All forms of organizations are using this exciting ECG neural network.
Awesome. So it's really interesting to see here the applications of the network. I want to talk a little bit more about what makes max yield and cardio yield different from every other ECG AI. Can you tell us?
So great question. What we did with our technology, which is quite foundational, we went in and most groups, most technologies, and this is an industry that's been around for about 60 years, and we're focused primarily in the context of cardiovascular disease. So it's a $1 trillion global ecosystem, if you would, industrial complex. What we did is we went right into where the entire story for clinical diagnostics begins, and that's with the ECG. We crack open an actual heartbeat. And like most systems, we don't use noise filters. We're not looking for patterns. We actually identify the heartbeat in the signal from the lead. What that means is we find the start of the P wave, the onset of the QRS complex, and then the onset and the offset of the T wave. So really all that means is we're able to go in and crack open a heartbeat and create an entire time series data sheet around that. We use that information to go downstream to any of the incumbent systems that are out there or our own system, which is what cardio yield does. So we took cardio yield and we actually designed it from the ground up with a variety of different clinical partners. There hasn't been a significant innovation in clinical diagnostic support tools, software, in probably 20 to 30 years. So we took a clean sheet, put all the modern software development principles in place, and we built a web-based system that can actually take our ECG outputs and allow any clinician to almost 2 to 3x the capacity and throughput at their clinic. So it's been extraordinary for us.
And speaking of these innovations here, can you talk about what would result in a re-rating of the company?
Well, I think the first thing is kind of the following. We have positioned the technology specifically into the US and the Canadian markets in 2, I'll call them camps. One is regulated, where we're going through the FDA and Health Canada cycle right now. So these are the clinics, the hospitals, the areas where you're getting a medical diagnostic from our software. The second is in the unregulated or the wearable market. What that means is we can go into any of the longevity, the wellness, the fitness type programs. And then as I just mentioned earlier, we've got the vet industry as well. If any one of those segments kick, on board, start using our tech, we are going to get re-rated because the commercialization and the traction on that's going to be extraordinary.
That's very exciting. I think with that in mind, you mentioned, of course, the vet angle. You talked about sick kids. So what other catalysts should traders be watching out for in the next 60 to 120 days for AIML?
Great question. So there is a lot brewing behind the scenes. So the first is the outputs from these clinical trials that we are currently involved in. So these include a number of clinics here in Toronto. We've got a great clinic we're operating down in Jamaica. We've got a number that will come up in the US. Once they hear the results of those and they see the broader agreements that come out of those deals, I think those are going to be very significant catalysts for us.
So speaking of catalysts here and the trading side of things, can you tell us what the risk reward is for traders with AIML?
Well, my feeling is, and I can tell you as the CEO and the chairman, of course, I'm in it every day. We're in the weeds. We're looking at where we're at. We have There's no downside at 5 cents right now, to be frank. We have spent, we've built, and we've patented a foundational piece of technology for ECGs, and its use and its markets are massive. I mean, this is a humanity scale issue that we are able to help solve. So right off the bat, we've got great scale and potential. We just need one of those markets to click as we go through our commercialization. But I think all of them are going to click. You know, they don't come all at once, but once one domino goes, the next one and the next one will hit. Those are the catalysts that I think are going to really drive us up.
Let's zoom out a little bit here, I think, because the name of the company, of course, AIML Innovations. Let's talk about the AI side of things. Of course, a super hot topic in the market. So what makes AIML an asymmetric AI play?
Well, you know, as I mentioned, we've built the technology. So this is not, let's go get some more money and continue to build. This is a scale up. More importantly, when you're a neural network in a software business, you are zero cost for delivery. Our cost to build reports and technologies are pennies compared to the hundreds of dollars that are being charged currently. So from a scale up perspective, not only can we scale fast, but we can scale fast with cash flow.
Awesome. Thank you so much here. Paul Duffy, CEO of AIML Innovations and also chairman, for being here with us today. And thank you so much for giving your time.
Yeah, great having me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. And I certainly, I have somewhat of an understanding of how diagnosing like heart issues and getting prodded with ECGs and over again, and understanding how big of a breakthrough that could be. And if you also have to consider, like, hey, the population's not getting younger, ultimately. So I think I root for them as always. And thank you so much for coming on here. And I appreciate adhering to the dress code up in here as well.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Thanks.
We're the comfortable sweater, which is
exactly.
Feeling that.
That's what we're doing, man. Thanks, Paul, for coming out. That was good. And you know, I like to talk there. Like, you know, at 5 cents, where's the downside? There isn't any. So I like that. There always is, though, guys. Do your own due diligence. But that was great. Couple great points there. And you never realize it until it's almost too late. Like, you know, everything's got to get discovered. There's a lot of money that goes into R&D and everything like that. So we want to thank Paul and AIML for coming out and explaining, you know, what their business looks like and what the model looks like moving forward. So a great opportunity there. We've been talking about them for a while, so it's great to you know, put a sort of a face to the name there. And you know, it's good to get CEOs out in front of it, right? And I think that's awesome. So we want to really thank Paul for that. And you know, meanwhile,